Believe it or not, the name of this song is called Dipshits on a Roof.
For real?
Yes.
I don't believe you. Huh.
Yeah.
All right. No. What?
Can't make this stuff up.
Damn.
Yeah.
Huh.
Dipshits on a Roof. It makes sense for like a lot of what this movie is. I mean, for what we get.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I just kind of hardcore switch there.
A little bit. So, Trent Reznor is actually the person who put together most of the music. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, they were actually in charge of the soundtrack. Groovy, baby.
That was really well timed.
Just doing what I can. Yeah.
Like as far as like opening songs go, that was very lackluster in my opinion.
You know what else is lackluster? Your face.
Really? We're gonna go there? Like, see, I'm arguing the point. You're attacking me, so like obviously that means you're wrong.
Ace wins, yeah. Also, how do you fit a whole like orchestra in your apartment?
It's difficult. There's a lot of restructuring of the walls.
Okay, they just let you do that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is miraculous how like you got all those big instruments. Did you record that yourself or?
I played each instrument individually, and then I put them on a sound loop so that they would sync up together, and then
I got you. Yeah.
Thank you. You know, I do what I can. I do what I can.
And you composed it as Dipshits on the Roof.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was appropriate for something that fits the Ninja Turtles. Don't we all agree?
This rendition, sure.
Well, let's try this.
We the team.
Stick with it.
I don't want to.
Hang in there. There you go, Oz. Attaboy.
I hate it so much.
I wish you could all see this.
I hate it so much.
It's so funny seeing what just you can find. I mean, because looking at it, you have no idea what you're gonna get. It's just
Yeah. There's no way. It got the logo.
No.
Turtle power.
Oh, it just repeated the line from the start.
Apparently, it's the Midwest portion.
Interesting. There's a lot of turtle music on here. Like, there's a lot of turtle music on here.
Oh, bro, yeah, like it's a thing.
Oh, I'm aware. It's just there's a lot of it.
I mean, Oz listened to most of it on the way over.
I believe it.
I did.
I hate it less.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like your favorite portion a little bit.
I actually don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it either.
Took a weird turn, but
Yeah, it did.
Is that what that was?
Okay, so enough bullshitting. Homies one and all. Welcome back to another very special episode of the Superhero Homies podcast.
Because they're all special.
They are all special. Yes. Yes, they fucking are. I am Superhero Homie Q. And along with me today, I have two of my nearest and closest and bestest friends in the whole wide world, a.k.a. the two people who agreed to do this with me tonight.
I mean, that's fair.
I have, returning once again, the homie Oz. Oz, welcome back.
Woo woo! Turtle power.
And I have also returning with me, the homie Dylan. Dylan, welcome back, my friend.
Hello, thanks for having me.
You know, it could be argued that amongst naysayers and negative Nazis, that I invite you two on to cover like the worst of the worst stuff that most people wouldn't want to go through. And to that I say, pish posh, it's not true. I have both of you on for some of the more raw and interesting things that we cover.
You say these things just to get a rise out of me.
I would never.
Oh, you do.
I would never.
Oh, you do.
I would.
Dylan, the last time that you were on here, we had the Baldur's Gate. Were you on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Baldur's Gate
3, yeah.
Which is universally amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
but before that, you were here with me to help me cover the. See if I remember this. Ruby versus Justice League.
It wasn't versus.
Fucking hell.
I'm almost. Oh fuck! Now.
Ruby X Justice League.
I think it is. Yeah.
Huntsmen and Heroes, Part 1.
I'm confirming.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
The movie was a lot. It was.
Ooh, you said Ruby X Justice League?
It's Justice League X Ruby, isn't
It
it?
is. It is. Superheroes and Huntsmen.
And I got that confused too. Yep. Okay, closely fucking enough.
You got part 1 right.
I got Part 1 right. I get credit for that.
Put your
So-
name at the top, you know?
Well, like Dylan was on my show not too long ago. Also,
was.
with the Tavern Notice Board, we like seriously went straight into like the heart and soul of what magic in D&D is. So it's really good. You should check it out. Tavern Notice Board.
That's right. Tavern Notice Bar. I was also on there as well.
Yes, you were.
Not for that episode, but yeah.
I was there too.
Well, yeah, but
In
you
spirit.
weren't on it.
I was.
You were in it.
What?
The look of confusion on Ace's face was fucking priceless.
I've been podcasting for almost 6 years. I didn't know there was a difference between being on a podcast and in a podcast.
You'll learn when you're older.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. I got that to look forward to.
You get a few more podcasts under your belt.
Damn. Don't kill him, Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help him out.
I only got one life to live.
You guys only have one?
YOLO.
Well, yeah, but my one lasts a lot longer than everyone else's one.
Is that right?
Yeah. I'm 75 years old.
Oh, I knew that.
Only
Oh.
75?
Well, you might have the knees of a 75-year-old person.
Fuck you. My knees are fine.
No, the fuck they're not.
Yes, they
no,
are.
they're not.
Does it do the grindy thing whenever you like?
No, it's way
use them?
worse than that. He actually blew his knees out a couple years ago.
They got better.
Did they?
You know,
though?
I don't know if it fully ever gets better from that.
No, you really don't get better. You just learn to live with it.
Okay, maybe you guys don't get better.
Oh, okay.
My knees actually are getting better whenever I'm getting older. I had way worse knees when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah, it's not even a joke.
Oh. Well, you know who else had worse knees? Master Splinter, who was also in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I was wondering when we were going to
Mutant Mayhem. Yeah.
pull it back.
Yeah, pulling it back is something that is it's a rarely used technique here on this podcast.
Matter of fact, the last one we were on, I was on, I believe, yesterday.
Yep.
I had to rein us back in at one point.
That's how you know things are wild. Check out the Podcast Assembled episode where
yeah.
we reviewed Ahsoka Season 1.
So good.
I watched episode 1 yesterday, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Boy, those first 2 episodes were a little bit to get through for me, not gonna lie.
So, I can say something about episode 1, right? Like, at this point, it's not really like a spoiler thing or whatever.
Yeah, no, fuck everybody.
Okay, cool.
Spoiler alert.
You guys ever seen Treasure Planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just has the fucking Treasure Planet map.
It's kind of what it is. I meant to bring this up yesterday too, but I'm like,
The second I saw it, I was like, that's the motherfucking Treasure Planet map.
okay, the show I thought was solid overall. I enjoyed my experience, but man, another thing I've gotten to mention because we talked about everything
We
yesterday.
did. Like, most of Star Wars.
Yeah, but can we kill it with the MacGuffins? Oh, okay. So treasure maps, and then we need this other thing to.
Does it get
find-
worse?
Oh yeah, there's a MacGuffin for the MacGuffin actually.
What?
Yeah.
Because I only
Yeah.
saw episode 1.
Yeah. So I mean, very quickly though, you realize that for the MacGuffin, which is the map, they need another MacGuffin.
But it's the MacGuffin.
It is the MacGuffin.
Wait, they need another thing? But they already opened the map in the first episode.
Well, they need something else.
Son of a fuck.
Yeah, it's MacGuffin City, and I'm like, okay, all right, enough MacGuffins.
Enough MacGuffins, indeed. Let's go on with this.
Yeah. So Speaking of MacGuffins, you know what else is a MacGuffin?
Oh Lord.
The ooze that creates the turtles. It's something not in this movie though, because that's really kind of a foregone thought. You know, the actual ooze that they use in this movie. So you have a disgusting look in your face.
Don't they also call it like slime or sludge?
Or
They call it sludge.
That's right.
Well, like the other mutants in the movie call it slime or sludge.
It was sludge.
The turtles go ooze, ooze, ooze.
No,
ooze.
they
It
swap
rolls
over
off
to
the
it.
tongue. Yeah.
It does roll off better.
Rolls off the tongue. Ooze.
Yeah. So the movie that we are talking about tonight is, of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem, which is the latest installation in the Turtles franchise. They've had several movies across live action and animated, and this one is one of them, the latest one. Mm-hmm. So I'll go ahead and say this: I didn't. I had very low expectations for this movie.
Same.
And I don't think that the movie is god awful.
Why'd you breathe?
Well, he needs to breathe to live, Dylan.
Wait. You guys have to do that?
Oh boy. This movie, I really had to put on my podcaster big boy pants and take a step back and realize that, okay, this movie is not for me. These aren't really my turtles. These are meant to reel in a younger audience. And there is a difference between a movie that is not for me versus a movie that is just straight up bad.
Right.
You know, and this movie, it does straddle the lines a lot, you know.
Quite a bit,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Cockroach lady.
Stop it. Stop.
Oh. And again, like, there are some things, like I said, that, you know, they're not for me because they're aimed at a younger audience, and there's other things that are just bad in this movie. You know?
That.
Yeah, like that. That's a very big example.
Yeah.
So, you know, this movie's been out for a couple of months now, so I'm gonna say fuck the embargo. This is a full spoiler episode. So,
Oh, shit. Okay.
I mean, yeah. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled for this movie, then I'm assuming that you. I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, then I'm assuming you probably don't want to. Like, if you really wanted to see the movie by now, you would have.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but with that being said, what are your guys' history with the Turtles? Like, where did you start off learning and knowing about the Turtles?
I think I'm getting motion first because I'm probably going to have the smallest list here. So, oddly enough, actually, I want to say it was my first instance with the Turtles was probably a combination of the original movies when I was quite young. Mm-hmm. Far too young to realize that, while fun, are not exactly the best movies, the live-action ones. I actually have not seen them in a number of years.
Austin's giving you a look.
Is he? I think he's just closed his eyes. Looks a little bit like Popeye.
A little bit.
Wow.
But it was close.
Was it?
The other the other bit that I got from them, I cannot remember if it was an NES game, a PlayStation 1 game, or a Sega game, because I had all three of those at the same time. But it was the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game.
Was the packaging? Did they all have red masks?
That would be SNS.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't the SNES. It was almost arcade style-esque.
Well, then more than likely that was the regular Nintendo, like the OG Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Because that's the very first exposure I had.
So yeah, because we had we had like a little top loader NES, so it must have been that. That was the first like real, other than like seeing it on TV or whatever. That was the main thing I had like got their ness from. That's not supposed to be an NES joke. It just happened.
I'll let it slide.
I liked them. I just legitimately, it was one of those things where like, oh, this is cool, and then just didn't touch it.
Yeah. And that's fair. With the Turtles, they were kind of like, you know, for me, I guess a little bit like maybe G.I. Joe or Thundercats, or, anything Transformers. In other words, like there's such a huge fandom, but that fandom is usually consistent of a certain age group, indicating that you kind of had to be there to get it.
Sure.
And just like with those shows I just named, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Thundercats, things like that. They were technically a generation before me, so I can appreciate them, but I wasn't really there for it.
Yeah.
I was there for Turtle Mania, and so was Oz, and that something strikes gold when just a short year or two later you start seeing Shameless clones, and there were so many different ninjas, whether it be surf ninjas or three ninjas.
Don't be fucking hating on either one of those.
They're garbage. I will hate on those all day long.
So I do remember I did watch a little bit of the show, right? The animated show. Mm-hmm. I have never heard of either of those things, so they can't be that good.
And they're not.
Don't ruin this for me, Ace. Don't do this to me.
I love that I gave more evidence and he turned to you.
Because he led you here.
Oz, listen, don't make me have you over to watch fucking Surf Ninjas.
I will
review it.
I fucking will.
I guarantee you would hate me more for that than for Howard the Duck.
And that'll make a great episode.
It will, but it will strain our friendship even more.
As far as it's fallen, sir.
What are you guys, like one Monopoly game away from just fighting?
100%.
He's gonna deck me one of these days, and that's when I know that I've made it. As a podcaster. What was your exposure to the Turtles?
So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was my first fandom.
Oh,
I remember, one of my earliest memories. I remember, my mom and dad actually got a regular Nintendo, and they got the Ninja Turtles game, and I was like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out the year I was born, the cartoon.
Okay.
And of course that was my Sesame Street. Mm-hmm. That's what I watched. And then they got that game, and I remember kind of conning my parents and letting me stay up and play it, even though I knew nothing about a video game at this point. So that was the start, and then it just became an obsession for many years. And of course, my first recollection of a movie that I went and seen was the very first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie in the Dollar Theater in Augusta, which doesn't exist anymore.
No,
that particular one, no, not the Masters Dollar Theater. I'm talking about the one that was actually across the street from where I believe is a Honda dealership. I think it's I think it's a music shop now.
Over there by Gerald Jones.
Yeah, Gerald Jones.
Oh.
Across the street, there was a Dollar Theater there.
Wow.
And that is how ingrained the Turtles are for me. Because I remember, not only was that my first exposure to the Avengers because I saw an arcade game in there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but that was my first memory of going to the movies, was going to see the first Ninja Turtles movie.
And was that 90 or 91?
I don't actually. Honestly, I think the original Ninja Turtles was 89.
Was it 89?
I think so. Yeah.
I wasn't alive either way.
Yeah. So, I guess I was born in 87. But I do remember vividly going to the theaters and seeing it.
It was 90.
90. Okay. So, yeah, I was 3. So, that is a very early memory that still sticks with me because of how excited I was about the Ninja Turtles. And, it stayed with me for fucking ever. It led to my love for the Power Rangers originally. Mm-hmm. Pretty much anything to do with Kung Fu. Any kind of fighting.
Oh, yeah.
I was all about it.
Do you remember the crossover episode where we got the Turtles and the Rangers together? You remember that?
I actually think I vaguely remember something about that.
Yeah, it was an interesting time.
Man, you were Rolodexing hard over there.
Oh, he is. He's buffering it like hell over there.
Oh, yeah. I don't recall this, actually.
Oh, I can pull up a picture that probably jog your memory.
Probably, yeah.
While you're looking for that, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Were you good at the video game?
No.
I was awful.
No, honestly,
God,
it's actually one of the hardest games I've ever played. Like, it's actually a very hard game.
I should acquire the NES for my parents' place. And
Yes, I do. Oh, so like, for whatever reason, my brain was going. Cartoon for whatever reason. That's where my brain was at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
No,
maybe they animated the Power Rangers, but like I was like that's not a thing. But yeah, like that I definitely remember the late '90s live action TV show that was fucking atrocious, but I watched it.
Me too, and it was bad.
It was
I
super
watched
I
it.
don't even think I ever watched it.
Oh, bro.
You did good by missing out on that.
Yeah,
Don't give me props for that. I had no choice.
But probably, people want to talk about like whether it be the Michael Bay movies. I don't think they're that awful.
The turtles are fucking huge.
Yeah,
They're mutants.
they are mutants. Yeah.
Why are you closing your eyes at me again?
I'm the type of person, and especially like with superheroes in general, I have to compromise, and I would rather them change something about the aesthetics, or even change something slightly with the powers, but get the personalities right.
That's fair.
I will make that compromise.
I couldn't get past that, so I didn't give it a chance.
And that's the thing, because like personality wise, I think that those movies were they weren't perfect, but they were good in that regard. But I see all that to say that out of all the different iterations of the Turtles, like the '07 movie, which is I think pretty fucking underrated. That was a solid movie. Yeah. Or whether it be the one we're talking about primarily tonight, or whether it be like the third live action movie that came out. None of those, or the TV show, none of those are the worst iteration of the Turtles. The worst iteration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are without a doubt when they appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Do you all remember that?
No.
I vaguely remember putting that in a vault.
So, the cool thing about this podcast here is that we have technology.
Yeah.
And,
Is it cool?
It's a thing.
It's a tool.
Yeah, I got sidetracked because I was looking up the 07 movie, and I don't think I ever watched the 07 one.
So, just to give you guys like a brief glimpse as to what this was like here. See here, we're gonna go ahead and just play a little bit here, so you homies can also hear what's going on. But this is the Turtles on Oprah. This is just a short clip.
You sometimes wish that April was a turtle?
Whoa, definitely.
Conceptually, that works for me.
Oh my god, I do remember this fucking clip. Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember putting this away
I think I
to not
repressed
ever
this.
think about it.
I definitely repressed this.
And she won't do it, huh?
No, she can't do it. The biggest problem is she can't hold her breath long enough,
Well, okay, coming up.
There
the
are terrified children.
Oh yeah, those kids are freaking the fuck out.
And you
Those
gotta
children
remember,
have trauma now.
this was during Turtle Mania, and like those kids are fucking terrified because this incarnation of the Turtles were borderline rapists.
A little bit.
Yeah, so now that I've haunted you guys,
I don't know. I'll just put it back in the vault.
I guess I need to create a vault.
yep,
Put a lot of things in there. Howard Duck.
It's not healthy. Don't do it. I mean, it works.
yeah. The Turtles have had some rough times, but they kicked off a huge mania,
Yeah,
and so many things spun off from that. There were so many other cool things about them, and I do still have it somewhere on the docket to review the original 1990s movie, because for me, that's where my fandom started with the Turtles, was with that movie. And then I kind of went and explored other things like the original animated TV show and the lackluster live action TV show on Fox. And so yeah, my history with the Turtles, man, is like a lot of people, it does start with those original 1990s movie. And so whenever we get another Turtles movie, we always compare it to that one.
That's fair.
Because it is the best.
It's the best. Yeah.
Like, for one, it is the closest to the graphic novel.
Absolutely.
And for two, like, it set the precedent of what the Turtles, like, could be. Like, And don't get me wrong, Secret of the Ooze is still fucking great.
I think so too.
But of course, like honestly, I can't think of a really good live action anything after that movie.
Yeah. But you know, because
I don't know if I've seen this.
which one?
The 1990. I'm not sure. I've seen it.
Oh, bro. Like,
We'll have to have you on
yourself.
for that review then.
Yeah, like, and you know you're bringing me back for that.
Oh,
What?
Just have me in on him. Make him so mad.
I'm gonna take your Olipop and throw it in your face.
how dare you? Not a sponsor. How dare you?
They are delicious, though.
Yeah, they are delicious.
We're not
Also
talking
a
about this right
sponsor.
now.
But yeah, so I kind of want to save those comments for when we review that OG 1990s movie, and we're gonna come back to that because I haven't seen it in years, and I hope that at least to a degree, it still lives up to.
I will say that I've watched it in the last 5 years, and it does.
Oh, that's good to know. I mean, they were just ahead of the curve. Like that movie was, for a PG movie, it was pretty fucking, gritty for what it needed to be. They compromised very well. They got the personalities right. I think that the suits and the animatronic heads were really fucking good for that time.
Oh fuck yeah!
From
The
the things I just
practical
looked up,
effects,
they look
yeah.
nice.
Oh yeah.
Like when I think of the Ninja Turtles, honestly, I think of the rendition there and Secret of the Ooze. Those are the one. Like if I look at them, if I think live action Ninja Turtles, those what I think of.
See, I think of Secret of the Ooze. I think.
Yeah, that's with the old Super Shredder at the end and
Yeah,
Vanilla
that
Ice.
one.
Yep. But as far as this one goes, this is now a new iteration of the Turtles for a new time, and I want to start with some good here. The old sandwich technique. Did you guys know that back in the day, some sandwich shops and some bakeries that would like make sandwiches or baguettes, like they would use a technique where they would put their prime meat at the beginning of the sandwich and then at the end of the sandwich, but in the middle of the sandwich they put their bullshit meat, because when people take a bite out of it, their first thought is, man, that first bite is amazing, and then they continue eating, and your brain does this weird thing, right, where it's like, okay, this isn't as good as like that first bite, but maybe I'm tricking myself because that first bite was exquisite. And then they get to the last bite and, oh man, yeah, this delicious sandwich.
It left that good.
Yeah.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah.
That is a very awesome thing. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's awesome, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, if you're a sandwich shop owner, yeah. Awesome for you, saving your prime meats. But the reason I bring that up is because so many movies, comic books, video games, TV shows, whatever, all do this technique, whether they mean to or not. Where they start off on a good note, and they all try to end on that same good note.
Most of them fail.
Most of them do fail. I feel like this movie also tries to do that same thing, but in a weird way, I feel like this is almost an inverse, where I thought the parts of the movie that I enjoyed the most were probably somewhere in the middle, and I didn't care that much for the beginning, and I didn't care that much for the end.
I actually might agree with you on that.
I do agree with you on that.
It was interesting because I'm surely that wasn't the goal here for them to do that.
No, but
So the people who were in charge of this movie were Jeff Rowe and Kyle Spears. Those are the two men who directed this movie, and the writers were Jeff Rowe, who was also one of the directors, Evan Goldberg, and Seth Rogen. So those three wrote the movie. Yeah, you can see Seth Rogen fucking. Yeah, I can't do this laugh.
I can't do it.
Yeah, do your Seth Rogen laugh.
I can't do it, no.
Just
do it.
I'm not even gonna try.
That's fair. But this movie does some things I think appropriately well. But let's start off with one thing that I think is a little conflicting for me. What did you guys think about the Turtles themselves, our primary four?
You go ahead first.
They ruined my favorite character.
They were what?
They ruined my favorite character.
I did
Mikey.
catch that, but I can.
They ruined Mikey without a shadow of a doubt. He was not Mikey. I had to get that out.
I was like, it looks like you were really attempting sort of to hold that in.
Go on that. What made him not
Like,
Mikey?
Mikey is the kind-hearted, the easygoing, the, like surfer dude, completely chill party guy. I never got once that vibe, except for when he was hanging out with a fucking gecko.
Yeah.
And that was it. And even then,
The gecko
was more Mikey than he was.
He was.
You even said that when we were watching.
Yeah, I'm just like, how do you take that character? Like, he is historically known for that. Like, I will say, I could hate every other rendition other than the original movies, but every one of those renditions, other than this, kept Mikey the same. He might even be a little dumb. That's fine. But they ruined him.
I think it goes deeper than Mikey. I think he may get the worst of it, but to a degree, they do it with all of them. They all kind of share the same personality.
They do.
Very slight, filters of a different personality.
Yeah, like, they may have given a hint of what the Turtles used to be in their character development, but it's literally just sprinkled on top. Like, the only thing that makes Donnie the smart one is the fact that he's wearing glasses, and that kind of pisses me off.
Yeah.
And because he even holds up his staff and he's like, "I have a stick." Like, Donnie wouldn't have fucking said that.
No. And this movie walks a fine line, and I guess I'm trying to shoot the movie some bail. I don't know, but they have to walk the fine line of making this for young kids today, making it relatable for them, while also trying to make this about the Turtles. And they just lose sight of that, and then they just lean all the way into, let's make this a Gen Z romp or a Gen Alpha romp.
Which I understand, but you can still keep their personalities and make it more relatable to today's time. They can totally do that. I've seen it done.
Yeah.
Also, actually, I don't even think they did a super great job of making it for the newer generations.
And that's the thing. You might be right. I can't really speak to it.
I'm not in the newer generations, but I'm a little closer, and I hang out with, I hang out with and have hang out with.
Do you hang out with children?
More people, inadvertently. I can't really say I don't, because I literally just hung out with Oz's kid.
Yeah.
But it. Don't get me wrong. I don't really enjoy the new genre of shows and all that, but I can at least kind of see the pattern to it. And this doesn't even really seem to hit that well. I could be wrong. Could you be looking into it a little harder? But
and again, we might be just a couple old people just griping about how they ruined our childhood. But I don't know, man.
I mean, I'm still there with you on that though. They still didn't do a great job with the characters.
No, every character that was from the original cartoon or comic or movie, they changed almost completely. I was actually mildly excited when I realized that Master Splinter was voiced by Jackie Chan.
Right.
Yeah, I was like,
something.
That would have been great. And then they ruined him.
I think he got it even worse than the Turtles.
Oh, yeah. Yes. He got it way worse than the Turtles.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I can almost understand the Turtles part where, if I came up to you and was like, all right, look, I need you to make this movie, and you're like, I don't know anything about these people,
right?
But I've heard some stuff. I can probably do this.
Yep.
Even if I did that, I don't think that's where I would come up with it at. I don't that's not the direction, and I don't think anyone would go.
Yeah, I mean, because ultimately, when you think about it, the way that they try to make this relatable to younger audience is by cramming in as many pop culture current references as they can.
They really did. It was nothing but pop culture references for a good bit of it.
And the thing about that is that some of it might be funny and cool today, but tomorrow is going to be corny.
Yeah.
And so that's why with movies like this, you have to lean on to the personalities and not the current day pop culture references, because they don't last.
Yeah, it especially after the internet basically made it so that any culture things are just shortened.
Yeah. The window of opportunity to capitalize on things like that are so short and limited, and you can't make a movie just based all around that.
The messed up part is like, I think the one character they kind of got the closest, in my opinion, was April. Like, I think they got her the closest to like the source material. Granted, they still made a lot of changes. Most of them I didn't care the changes. She thick. She's also she's a person of color now, which is I honestly had zero issue with. Like, honestly, I thought it was great.
So I will say this: as a black person, I have noticed an interesting trend in Hollywood.
Okay, go ahead.
If you are a white redhead, you are very likely
to get replaced by a person of color.
Holy shit!
Think about it.
Oh yeah, no. Like, I've actually had a super in-depth conversation with my guy friends at work about how.
Oh no!
Like, for real. Like,
I thought of something funny.
Oh
god! All right. So if you're pale and redhead, people make jokes about you having no soul, right?
And black people got all the soul.
So they're just flipping it.
Holy shit, Dylan, you cracked it. You fucking cracked it.
Crack more than just that.
That was almost bad.
I also almost cracked my chair.
I did. I think the lever was pulled out a little bit, and I just happened to hit it in the right spot. Oops.
That would have been hilarious, though. I should have had a camera set up. If you're gonna fall, let me get the camera set up.
Right.
We'll just pause you mid-fall.
But Dylan,
I think you got it though, dude.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. God damn.
But like I was saying though, I've actually had a very serious in-depth conversation with the guys in my office about this, like how Hollywood is taking gingers and flipping them to black people most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, we can sit here and name them off.
Flash.
Yep. Flash.
I was gonna say
Little Mermaid,
Peter Parker, he was a redhead.
Little Mermaid, April now.
Yep, April.
There's many of them.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that I thought of 2 or 3 just now is kind of wild.
I mean, if you guys have ever seen the Lois and Clark show, they took Jimmy Olsen and made him from this nerdy redhead Superman fanboy into this fucking tall, handsome black dude.
Yeah, they did. This may be a little more obscure from you guys, but do y'all know Percy Jackson?
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
Well, Grover in the book, which is the satyr, was a ginger redhead.
Was he?
And in the movie, they made him a black dude.
See, the funny thing is, I watched the movie first, and that got me into the series.
Yeah,
I realized afterwards the movie's awful.
Compared to the book, the movie's fucking horrible. The second movie was great. It actually sticks to the book.
I heard it was worse.
Oh no, it sticks to the book. Actually, pretty close.
I might have to actually.
Anyway,
so. And at first I thought it was just a coincidence. These are interesting coincidences, but
no.
Time goes on.
You're just seeing it more and more.
Yeah,
that's weird.
It is. It's a very bizarre dichotomy, and I won't pretend to understand it. I love the fact that
we understand it now.
Oh yeah, because of you.
Because
I
of you.
understand it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm gonna have to bring this up at work tomorrow. Definitely.
I love the fact that more black people are getting work, getting gigs that originally weren't there because just weren't that many roles for black people or colored people. I say colored people because people of color is the same thing, just a little bit more insulting,
So now I got to stop saying that too.
That's right.
Okay.
No, I always thought that person of color, I was like, man, you guys really fucking missed the ball on that one, huh? You just calling me a colored person with extra steps, and pretending that is.
I know when I say it, it's
I
more.
know you don't mean.
Yeah, but I guess more my thought process, and maybe more people like me, is like it doesn't just pertain to black people. It pertains to Hispanic and other people who are not just strictly black. So while I agree, it still should not even be a thing. We should just be fucking people, but. We're not. Yeah, that's a whole other rabbit hole.
I personally always hated it, not for any of that reason, but because written out in text, it was POC, and I always read piece of crap.
There's that too.
And I was always just like, that's
Damn.
not what they're saying.
Damn.
But no, we gotta keep our eyes out for that. I'm trying to think, because there's probably more. So next superhero movie you see, or anything that has any kind of adaptation, if there's a redhead in it, keep your eye out, because they're probably. Oh, what about Triss Marigold? That's not
Right?
bad. Yeah,
Triss Marigold.
from
But
The
yeah.
Witcher.
Wait a second. I might have one. Hold on.
We've stumbled upon a new fun game.
We figured something out. I just don't remember what hair color she was.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Iris West. I don't know if you
We mentioned the
that.
Flash.
Okay.
Yep. Oh,
I don't know if it-
Iris and Wally, both of them.
I don't know if
Iris
it
and
fully
Wally.
counts, but Starfire.
Starfire. It does.
That,
I think
that
it
one
does.
that one is interesting because she is a ginger, but she's also orange.
Yeah.
A big one. Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Like Zendaya-
Mary Jane. Yeah, that's got to be one of the most obvious ones. Yeah.
So in the new Spider-Man,
Zendaya plays.
Zendaya
MJ.
plays
Yeah.
Mary Jane.
Yeah, you're right. Shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a huge, like the big one, like right in the
I
face.
just didn't even think about it. It just didn't
Yeah.
pop into my brain. I was like, what?
Now, I know that us black folk have really made it when we can start replacing some of you blonde motherfuckers out there. Because sure, you give us your riffraff, okay? We want the blonde rose next.
So, and like part of that in-depth
joking.
conversation that I had with my office buddies is like, personally, I think the reason why they flipped it a little bit is because like in American culture, Irish people, when they first came over here, were actually pretty discriminated against. So it's like they're kind of flipping and this is not my thought process, but I'm just saying, like in the Hollywood's eyes, they're flipping the bottom two, I guess.
A little bit. What's the relationship between the Jewish community and the Irish? Is there static there?
Honestly, I don't know.
I got nothing.
I'm not Jewish or Irish, so
Well,
got Irish in me,
ironically
but-
enough, the fucking people who directed this movie and co-wrote it are like Evan Goldberg, Seth Rogen, guys who wrote this movie. Pretty sure Seth Rogen is Jewish.
yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, Evan Goldberg with a name like that.
That is definitely a Jewish name. Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm not gonna Kanye West this episode. Yeah,
I'll bring in the Chewbacca defense. It's fine.
that's right. This does not make sense. Chewbacca is Wookiee. Anywho,
Ninja Turtles.
yeah, we were talking about April, and that's kind of how it was spun out this whole side conversation here.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Like the thing that they had to get more of April right, simply because of her role. You know,
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
If she's not a journalist, then what the fuck is she?
And honestly, I didn't hate the fact that they aged her down. I didn't have a problem with that.
Well, they kind of aged everything down.
Well, yeah, they did.
did,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
They were like. Well,
Except
actually, I think
Flair.
the Turtles were actually where they were supposed to be. I think said they were 15.
Yeah,
I kind of felt like they were younger than 15, though.
Well, like personality-wise, yes. Like their personality seemed way younger.
Yeah.
But like I think they mentioned in the movie. That
did
were
they say?
I think so.
I don't remember it.
But I don't remember. But like I know the original Ninja Turtles were they started off like the story started following them at 15.
Yeah, which is again always hard to say because the original comic was very, very gritty.
Yeah,
very
it is.
dark. And also, maybe this is the mutant turtle part, but they always looked and presented like damn near grown ass men because
True. Yeah.
they were swole and they were very intimidating, and
They were turtles.
they were turtles and they were ninjas.
Kappa.
But you know that kind of brings it back to another thing about this movie that I really feel they dropped the ball with in terms of like their personalities, right? So with the turtles, not only do you have to, be able to identify which turtle is which based off of like what they're saying. Case in point, when we covered The Last Ronin, there's moments in there where you see text from the other turtles, but you don't see them. But just based off of what they're saying, you know which turtle is which.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
So
it's
to
their
watch that.
personality.
Yeah.
Like no, it's just the graphic novel right now. They haven't done any.
I need to read that.
Yeah, it's
That-
Because
yeah, it's
that is actually one of the things I wanted to look
it's
more into.
very good.
Oh yeah, I have it down there. You can take it with you. Yep,
It's so good.
it is. It's very good.
I really like the other one you let me borrow.
Oh yeah, Harleen. I really enjoyed that graphic novel. Best Harley Quinn story ever written, I think. But
I would agree, but let's not go too far down that one.
Another rabbit hole there. But the other thing they missed out on is the Turtles. They're also, at the end of the day, they're all cool and badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I never once felt that out of any of the Turtles. Like, they were not cool or badass.
This isn't defending this at all. This is more me agreeing with you, but like, another one of the things is like, so when you first see the Turtles in any of the variants, are they still like learning how to ninja?
Well, in the original movie, it wasn't they learned how to ninja. It was they were learning how to stay. Like, they didn't know they were going out into an environment they'd never really been in. Like in the original, like when they were keeping to the shadows, they did not get seen.
Right.
They kicked people's ass, but it was in the dark.
Yep.
So like that they kind of got right a little bit, but at the same time, they did a piss poor job of trying that in this one. But continue.
What I was gonna say is that in this one, I really feel like they just like. I really do feel like they learned all their moves from TV.
Well, and
I know that was like what they said in the thing, that they got it from the movies, but they really made it feel like they just tried. They were like some kids running around who watched old movies and tried to do some of it.
I hated that so much.
Oh yeah, like, honestly, that is probably the thing I hated the most. Like, yeah, they ruined Mikey's, all the Turtles' personalities, and Splinter hardcore. But honestly, they ruined, like, the part of the reason why they ruined Splinter is because of the way they were taught how to be ninjas.
Yeah.
How did Splinter know Kung Fu?
In the original, I believe in the original comic books, Splinter was actually a person. He was the opposite of Clan Hirota. Is that the name of Splinter's clan? Anyway, they were opposite, like opposing clans.
Okay.
He got turned by the ooze. He got turned into
a rat.
Yeah,
a Roku.
Is that his name?
Oroku Saki.
Yeah. Okay.
So he just already knew how to fight and all that.
Yeah, he was already a badass, ninja samurai. Well, more of a samurai technically, but always badass. And then when the Turtles got mutated, because he kind of knew what was what, he decided to take them in and raise them and teach them. So
that makes a lot more sense in this movie.
Yeah.
Well, like even the OG 90 movie, like they made it so that Splinter was an actual rat, but he was just he was actually intelligent.
Okay. Yeah.
And his owner knew how to do Kung Fu.
He observed
he was learning it while he was in his cage, and then Shredder shows up, kills his owner, and then he gets kind of put in. He goes into the sewers and tries to live as a rat, and then finds the turtles, and then they both mutate.
This is Splinter. He was human. Just some variations of what he looked like when he was still a dude.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that.
I was looking at the first two and I was like, oh, yeah. And then I looked down at the
I do
lower
remember
ones.
that. Because, like, that's in the cartoon.
It's in the cartoon.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
I forgot so much about
You were talking about the lower ones, right?
Oh, no. I wasn't. The lower ones were like, I don't know what the hell some of these are, but they were like Splinter from, I guess, the newest movie, and
That's both from the newest movie.
Are they?
All that's from the new movie.
Jesus Christ.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Again, I'm not sure what the decision was there behind that. Like, because that was definitely a hard, conscious decision.
Because they just threw the source material out the fucking window with that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, you know what? You don't want them, you don't want Master Splinter, because he is known as Master Splinter.
Yep.
He is not a master of shit.
Yep.
And he was so easily deceived in this movie.
He's
sorry.
supposed to be really wise. Yeah.
If they would have made him wise and maybe he studied martial arts as he mutated, I would have been okay with that. Because obviously that's just a minor little blip of how he knows how to use kung fu.
Right.
However, he learned it from fucking 90s kung fu movies, and that's not how that works.
Right.
I think that part is one of the main things that stops me from being like, this was aimed at the newest generations, because some of them have probably watched some of those, but I think my generation's the one that's the last ones that really watched the old kung fu movies and was like sitting in the fucking living room trying to do some shit and probably hurting yourself.
I think it's borderline insulting just because it almost insinuates that, well, the newer generation is lazy. So, like, we can just see the turtles learn this shit from whatever the kids do, which is they watch YouTube videos.
But the thing is, I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody watched a YouTube video, they'd make a better shuriken than that.
Oh my god, that shuriken was... that Ninja Star was horrible.
Yeah, sorry, Ninja Star.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it was I believe it was a shuriken. But, you know...
Oh, believe me, I know my shit.
I know you do. You watch way more anime than anybody I know.
Imagine not being a trained ninja, learning as you're training your young sons, and giving them swords and all kinds of weapons.
Like, straight up just the weapons. Not even...
Bear with me here.
Yeah, Bear puns, we're doing those?
No, it's a thing that Caleb does that he goes on a little tangent.
Oh, I know. That's why I was...
Oh, okay, sure. Whatever. So there is a huge theory. I'm not even sure if it's ever been determined, but it actually there were reasons why Splinter gave them those specific weapons.
Yeah, I do. I knew something like each one was the opposite of the person.
The personality, the personality.
Yeah, I love that.
Which obviously they got rid of their personality, so they got rid of the reasons why they got these weapons. But because Leo, Leo is the most compassionate. He's very much he's the leader. He talks to people more of the he cares. So Splinter gave him a weapon that basically had to teach him a lesson of sometimes you will have to hurt people. Yep. So katanas, those are the most deadly fucking Japanese style kung fu weapons imaginable.
Yeah.
Then you've got Raphael, the hothead. Don't give me... anime nerd, shut up.
That's not even that. That's not even anime nerd. That's weapons nerd.
Okay, fair enough. But anyway, Raphael, the hothead, the dude who's always quick to throw a punch, he gave him the sais, which are a defensive weapon, which they ruined.
You mean the dagger thing?
The fucking sai in the movie. I'm over here that's a fucking dagger with points. Yeah. What the shit? It's got a pointed crossguard on it. It's a dagger with a pointed crossguard. That's exactly what the fuck it was.
True.
But a sai historically is a defensive style weapon because it is literally just a spike. It is a spike. Could it? It's
a big fork.
It's a big fork. Yeah. Could it kill someone? Sure, if you were tending to do that.
Oh, he sure fucking probably did.
Yeah. But ultimately, they're known for defense. That is that's why he gave it to Raph. And then, of course, Mikey being the scatterbrain, the crazed party dude,
almost immature.
Immature, yeah. He gave him the nunchucks because it actually takes the most focus on not hitting yourself to use them,
or your allies.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, Donnie, him being the brain, the one who's all about technology,
maybe over analytical at times.
Yeah. He gives him a fucking stick.
Yeah.
Which, inadvertently, the most useful out of all four.
Yeah, it is. And he's like, be creative with this. And so, I know that's more of a theory instead of an actual, canon. I don't even know if it is canon. It might be. Honestly, it makes fucking sense for for Splinter to do some shit like that. Mm-hmm. However, this movie... They gave him those weapons. Yeah. They gave him those weapons mostly because that's what they have in the originals.
And really,
where did they get the weapons from?
In this movie?
Yeah. I don't remember.
Listen, Dylan, we're going to start asking questions like that.
I'm sure we were
I think there was a scene.
There was a scene, I think, because I remember Splinter holding all the weapons and then throwing them on the floor.
I'm assuming he stole them from somewhere, but who the fuck know? Or did he order them off Amazon? Who
Might
knows?
assume.
But this movie... just speaking of that, it really reminds me they missed a prime opportunity here because, for example, we have been getting Batman movies since '89, but it wasn't until 2005 that they said, "Hey, let's explore his origin," and that really, did a great job of looking and condensing the history of Bruce Wayne before he was Batman and how he becomes Batman, and same thing with the Turtles. We rarely get a look at their origin and seeing them become the Turtles. And putting them at this age, I think would have been a really good opportunity
to do that.
Yeah, to see them become the Ninja Turtles.
I would have loved to see them maybe at the start, be goofy, be whatever. They still have more of their personalities than they do here. Yep. But then they like, at one part during the movie, they have to learn, hey, we need to stop fucking around. Like, we can hurt people.
Yeah.
And then they, dial it back or become more serious a little bit, or, learn some form of a lesson instead of just, I'm pretty sure this movie has a pretty large body count.
Oh, they kill so many people.
Oh my God. Yeah, there's so many deaths.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess, I fucking lied. I said that we were going to start off talking about the good.
I was wondering about that because we have not said a single good.
So there's one good thing that I can say from this movie.
We're putting the good in the middle. All right.
Yeah, we're putting the good in the middle.
The good in the middle. So the one good thing is the soundtrack was actually pretty fucking dope.
Soundtrack was great.
Like, it was on point. I was very happy with it. I even enjoyed the Easter egg with Ninja Rap.
Yes, I loved that.
I was like, you know what? I will give that nostalgia hit. I liked it. I appreciated that. But that was it. Like, honestly, I really have nothing. Oh, well, I'll take that back. I will give them. I'm glad that they did not put Splinter in the first movie. Not that Splinter. Shredder in the first movie.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that mixes those two names up.
Oh yeah,
like mentally, I have them fully separated, but the name, my brain is just like, say this one.
No, but I'm glad that they didn't put Shredder in this originally, because those Ninja Turtles would not have been able to take on Shredder. Shredder would have fucking destroyed them.
I'm so nervous to see like where they go with Shredder.
I'm hoping they don't go anywhere and they just don't get it greenlit for the next movie.
I need to look that up to see if they're working on one or not. I don't know.
So, what if they make his face like the other people's faces?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my, that was, all right, so fuck the good. We're going to go right back.
All right, before we abscond from the good, I actually, for the most part, liked the art style.
For the most part, I enjoyed the attempt at trying to be comic booky.
For everything except for the fucking faces.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
The human, there was one moment where
most of the human faces were okay. Like the main cast.
Yeah.
Of like 2.
Right. There weren't that many. Yeah.
Yeah, April's face was fine.
There was was one character who was a goon, and I pointed out, I said, "That's a grown baby."
Because a grown baby.
He was. Because he said it right as I was thinking it, I died. But like the main lady, I think, henchwoman.
I still think
the neck lady.
The neck lady, like her neck was oddly long. Like
they did it on purpose. They could not have not.
And then at one, like I know it, like her face, like
was not.
One side was nice and round, like it should be, and the other was just like an angle,
jagged.
Like it was like.
And I think that was an offshoot of the art style they used for the rest of the movie. But I feel like it pulled me from the movie.
Mm-hmm. It really did.
Because
she was on the screen.
She was on the screen, and I was like, I'm listening. Nope. What did she just say? I don't know.
It was, because like her neck wasn't just long; it was as wide as her head, and so like her head.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like in the scene where you said that, the dude behind her also has a wide neck, but it's not nearly as long.
Yeah.
So you don't notice it.
It's very awkward.
So that was a good and a bad all in the same one.
I think that really, like, this version of New York is all fucked up because everyone has ooze. They all look like mutants.
They all do.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's so bad. Like,
So for me, besides the soundtrack, I thought the soundtrack was great. The other thing that I really like, and actually probably my favorite character up until the third act, Superfly.
I was actually about to say that because I did mention that I was glad that they didn't put Shredder in here, but Superfly is one of their original villains. And I'm very glad that they brought in one of those. Yeah. However, they kind of ruined all the other villains that were with him.
They did.
Yeah.
Like, two of the most iconic henchmen in history are Bebop and Rocksteady. Yeah. They were minuscule at best.
How many speaking lines did they even have? Like, they got John Cena to be which one?
I think it was Rocksteady. And Bebop was Seth Rogen.
They had, 4 lines, maybe?
Yeah, and that was towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And, I'm sorry, they were really influential, I think, even in the graphic novel. And, I know in the OG cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
They were in almost every episode. They were, the Goldar
Oh yeah,
of the Ninja Turtles, like
Who?
go. Have you never seen Power Rangers?
Like
Blast
I watched
you,
them,
Rangers!
but-
I'll get you next time.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah,
like
you know,
the
he
dude,
was.
he kind of looked like a.
He had a
cat.
dog face.
Was it a dog face or was it a cat? Like a lion face?
Yeah, it may have been like a lion, but it was
But, like,
blue.
Yeah,
it was
But he
blue.
wore a gold set of armor.
Okay, yeah, I remember
Wings.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good old Goldar.
good old Goldar. But like Goldar, like it's that's like that level of henchman, like that almost right hand. Granted, they were always historically known for being dumb, which they did get that correct in this.
Yeah.
However, they were literally background characters, nothing else. Like they put them in there as an Easter egg for the people who actually care about the characters.
That's it.
Were there other henchmen that are like hidden in those, or were the rest of those just like?
Well, I want to say I
think most of them, if not all of them, were actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bat. I can't remember her fucking name.
Yeah, me either. But like the Bat Lady, she was.
Yep.
the robot bat thing.
I want to say the Gecko was also. I think he was actually an ally.
Might have been.
In the OG cartoon.
I can see that.
Was the cockroach there?
I don't remember
I
the
don't know
fucking
about-
cockroach,
yeah.
but like
They could have kept that out.
They really could have kept that out, and it was very disturbing.
It was.
At all points.
I legitimately don't know why they put that in, other than like maybe cringe value.
That was it. Cringe value.
But that's the thing, though. Like,
It didn't even fit that well.
yeah, a lot of times cringe stuff is supposed to be humor, but I don't even see the humor in it, though.
Yeah, like. I mean, I guess it was like that shock factor out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah,
I was
but then
like,
they brought it up like two more times.
They did it way too often. They went to that well way too often.
Well, and then it was like, oh yeah, this goofy ass version of Master Splinter finds love with this gross ass.
Yeah, no, that like,
It was just so over the top and gross. I'm sorry. I don't know what the takeaway was supposed to be, but
Master Splinter is supposed to be the Mr. Miyagi of this world.
Yes.
And there was nothing. There was no semblance of that Splinter there at all.
No.
Also, to follow up on that, I feel like the Master Splinter that I've seen would have done better about like understanding and getting to know the turtles.
Oh yeah, like I know you haven't seen the original movie, which you should.
I feel like I have, but it was so long ago I literally don't remember it.
Well, there was this scene, and like it's still like when I was younger, I thought it was like the most boring scene. But like as I got older, and like I said, I watched it more recently. It was actually one of the most heartfelt scenes in the original movie. It was after the turtles went and saved April the first time, and Raph gets pissed off because he lost his side.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking dips.
Yep.
And he goes out all disguised, and then he meets Casey, all that stuff. But when he comes back, he has this really heartfelt talk with Splinter, and like he talks about his anger, and like he's like helping him, like talking to him about taming it, and like Raph has even got a tear going down his eye. I'm like, as a child, I didn't get this scene, but as an adult, it was very good storytelling.
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing, and then like it's foreshadowing as fuck, especially for later in the film, and it's like, shit, this is fucking great.
Yeah, it was
like,
pretty heavy stuff.
But you don't get that at all from this Master Splinter.
No.
Like you don't get nothing.
You don't see any wisdom. You just see
The closest to it was him trying to throw them a pizza party.
that's such a fucking far cry.
Like I was almost pissed at that. Like
That's
they
what I said
didn't
the closest
mention
thing to it.
They didn't even mention pizza for the first 30 minutes of the fucking movie, and I was so pissed.
I mean, the pizza is like a big thing.
Like the majority of our generation loves pizza because of the fucking Ninja Turtles.
Right. Yeah. As a matter of
Shit,
fact,
you might be right
as
about that.
kids, I don't know about you, Oz, but I'm pretty sure you probably also fall into this category. As kids, most of us were willing to try anchovy pizza because of the turtles.
Yeah, I tried it
still
once.
haven't tried
I regretted it, but
My parents would never order it because I guess they just knew.
they knew.
No.
Yeah, my parents were also like, no.
But see, shit like that is very influential. Like Popeye influenced me to start eating spinach. I'm like, if I eat spinach, I'll get fucking swole. Let's go.
First off, spinach is delicious. Canned spinach is awful, though.
I see. It is awful, but I ate so much. It had to be canned when I was a kid. Yeah.
Nah, my parents were always just like, yeah, this is it.
I didn't eat spinach until I was an adult, and I started eating it on Subway sandwiches, and that shit's so good.
Oh, spinach on sandwiches is delicious.
But it's not the can pop because for me as a kid, it had to be in the can.
Because
Otherwise,
you wanted to be
That's
like
what Popeye.
You want to be
did.
Popeye?
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I think my parents actually even probably told me it was the same spinach, just because I didn't.
I took it a step further. Like my parents, they were like, "This kid wants spinach, but it has to be in the can." You know what? Fuck it, okay. But there was a brand back in the day that had Popeye.
Yeah,
And I wanted that brand.
I think that's still a brand, by the way.
It is.
I don't buy canned spinach anymore
Because canned spinach is disgusting.
yeah. I'm like, what is this packed with?
Honestly, I'm not a fan of canned vegetables. Will I eat them? Sure. However, I prefer my stuff fresh now. Like,
I mean, yeah, agreed. But there are definitely canned vegetables that are better than canned spinach.
oh yeah.
Not according to Popeye.
That's fair.
I can beat a motherfucker's ass if I got some canned spinach on me.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking shit? Wait right there. Put my can opener.
He doesn't though. He just fucking squeezes that shit.
My
squeeze
forearms were not that big.
He'll squeeze it. If he doesn't have his access to his hands, he'll turn his pipe upside down and do like a little torch thing.
yeah.
That's a thing.
Oh man, I don't know if you guys ever watched the show Death Battle.
Yep.
Have you seen the Popeye one? It was like Popeye versus was it One Punch Man?
Oh my god.
I
don't think it was One Punch Man.
It was
somebody like that though.
It was some extreme, immensely powerful being. I forget who it was, but they declared Popeye the winner. I mean, they said, "Look, this guy is a fucking eldritch horror, basically. Like what he can
kind
do."
of is.
Yeah.
I mean, before he eats the spinach, he's kind of an eldritch horror. Like
yeah.
his forearms are ridiculously disproportioned to the rest of him.
And we'll get back on the turtles here, but like my favorite moment from Popeye, and this shit will forever be fucking hilarious. He eats the spinach, and of course, Bluto's talking shit. You think he learned by now,
You would think.
You think?
but I'll never forget. I think he swings at Bluto, misses, and he uppercuts a tree, and then he uppercuts Bluto. And when the tree falls, it falls into the shape of a coffin, and then Bluto falls in the coffin.
I mean,
It makes sense.
yeah, it makes sense. Like 100%. Like
Yeah.
his punches are great carpenters.
Oh yeah. I'm like, that's fucking comedy gold.
Yeah.
Anywho, speaking of comedy gold,
All
Not
right,
this
go ahead.
movie.
Yeah.
What part of this movie was that?
I did laugh pretty intentionally at the Molly Whopping.
That's true.
So I want to say it was.
Molly whopping me.
I want to say Superfly originally said he's gonna mollywop the city or some shit like that.
Yeah, he did.
And then towards the end, like Donnie is in one-on-one combat with him, and he gets grabbed, thrown on the ground, and Superfly is just beating
the shit out of this kid.
And the whole time, Donnie's like, "He's mollywopping me." That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
That actually that segues into something. So whenever we were watching it, you guys told me that the turtles in a lot of the iterations have a healing factor.
They do.
They definitely have some kind of something for this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they get their ass beat.
They get their shells cracked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I was like, huh?
Oh, I was cringing because
Like-
they feel that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which, that sounds like some kind of new cool insult. You keep talking shit, then I'm going to crack your shell.
I wouldn't fuck with them.
I would no.
Be like, I don't know what that means.
Right.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And they really enjoyed the song "Annie Up" in that movie.
They only played it one time, though, right?
No, they played it like 3 times.
Well,
Annie Up?
I only heard it once.
Yeah.
No, it was twice. So the first time was early in the film, and then the last time was when they were doing their superhero walk into the city.
Oh, they played it again there?
yeah,
Okay.
it was twice. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Oh. I mean,
it's
it's a good song.
a
Yeah.
good get crunk song.
It is. I mean, they also played like Shimmy Ya by like Busta Rhymes and the gang from back in the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. They played some ODB. I'm like, oh, dirty bastard, really. And, I fucking love it though. And again,
I think
the
that was
soundtrack-
actually Seth Rogen's influence there. I
It
think.
might have been again. Trent Reznor was like the guy who was over music, and
Oh.
he scored some. He's actually I think he scored the Watchmen TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's got an ear for it. Imagine that. Trent Reznor has an ear for music.
I don't get that joke.
Trent Reznor.
Nope. I don't know people's names.
I think he's the lead singer of Nine Inch Nails.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, yeah. Very famous musician. Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
I did actually know the Nine Inch Nails. So whenever you brought that up, I actually
Oh, okay.
I know who Nine Inch Nails is. I did not know their
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, anywho. But I will say this also, like I did enjoy the fight montage in the middle where they were like killing everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, when they were
Absolutely
just like
murdering
going
the
through
gangs.
the tiers of corruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up to find Superfly.
Very Deadpool.
It was very
of them.
cool.
It was very Deadpool-esque. Yeah. But it was a really cool scene, and I'm like, if I can just overlook the fact that they were murdering these people, this is a very cool scene.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, I would overlook it for a second, but then one person would just get gruesomely hit. I'm just like, that dude's dead.
Yeah. Like, oh Jesus.
And like that could have been part of like the thing for the new generation is just like it. If you don't go over the top, you might not catch everybody's attention. I get that. My attention's not great. I have ADHD. But on the other end of that, like I still don't know 100% who this is aimed at, because normally you're like, oh yeah, it's aimed at the new generation, but we're gonna toss in these nostalgia hits. I feel like it was a weird 50-50 split though.
Like honestly, but it was the wrong 50-50 split. Like it wasn't like geared enough towards the youngsters, and it wasn't geared enough towards the diehards.
That's true. You got to pick an audience.
I don't think 50-50 is the way to go at all.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a right 50-50 split.
Right. Because even if you do 50-50, like 50% of the people are going to hate it at one point or another, you know?
I keep making noises over here, damn it.
No, but like they tried to hit, like there were little Easter eggs that I kind of appreciated, where like when they got in the pizza van.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was like, okay, a throwback to the old school cartoon.
Yep.
I'm down.
Yep.
You even actually before that, when they were in the van before that, when you were like, is this their van or did they do the thing?
Yeah, because they got a van earlier.
Different van, yeah.
Different van, but yeah.
That van did not make it.
It did not.
It's
Not at all.
neither did the pizza van, but
So this is a pro for the movie that turns into a con, and that is like I really enjoy Superfly, as you mentioned earlier. Ice Cube voiced him.
oh yeah, I think I picked that up. And I was
did,
like,
yeah.
fuck yeah,
You did.
Yeah. He was very fitting. Like
it was. Yeah,
If you just get Ice Cube to be Ice Cube, then I mean it's kind of a hit, you know. And so I really liked him in this role. I thought he was. The reason why Ice Cube works in comedy like that is because he always plays it serious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You know.
it's kind of like Desmond. Like your D&D character, like you were so serious as comical.
Right.
I think Desmond made a joke at Shade once though.
he did, and I mean,
I don't think anybody else caught it. It was one of our sidebars.
And I think it made Shade uncomfortable, and then
It did. He just like left.
But yeah, so the way that this kind of segues into a con for me is they tried to, and I called this very early actually, but they tried to do X-Men 1 in this movie.
Oh yeah, they did.
But they do such a very watered down version of the first X-Men movie.
I even remember you saying this is X-Men. And I was looking at you real hard. I'm like, what are you talking about? What?
But then, I mean, by the end of the movie, if you don't see X-Men...
Oh, yeah, no, I at a certain point, I don't even think it was the end. I think it was
Yeah.
like a little after halfway point. I was just like, oh, shit. No, he's right.
So for those of you who don't remember, the basic synopsis of X-Men 1 is you have your good mutants and your bad mutants. Obviously, the bad mutants led by Magneto, they have an idea to create a device that will turn all the humans into mutants. And the X-Men, although they are also hated by human society, want to put a stop to the bad mutants and to prevent them from turning humans into mutants. And, you know, that's the basic plot of X-Men 1, very watered down. I just did there. But what they do here in this movie is a very similar thing. Superfly wants to create a device that it won't necessarily turn the humans into mutants, but is going to, what did it do?
Turn all the animals into
Turn all the animals into mutants, yeah.
Which, whenever I saw that, I was like, well, aren't humans just animals? Wouldn't that
It
still
would have
just-
done something.
It would have definitely done something.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like, not only there's a lot working against this movie for me up until this point, But then they had to go and throw a fucking kaiju fight
It was unnecessary.
at the end.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was like, fucking Superfly gets thrown into the machine. He grows to an astronomically huge size and fuses with other animals and becomes a giant kaiju. Granted, at least in this, at least it was normal-sized people fighting a kaiju instead of two kaijus fighting in the city.
You know, that actually brings up something that I didn't realize I didn't like until just now. Is that his whole thing with that was that he took the same serum, or ooze, that made all of them to make that happen. But why did that make him glue and fuse into other animals?
Well, no, at the end, like the thing that was going to transform all of the animals, that fell into the water.
Yeah.
He fell in there with it.
Yeah.
And
bumped into a whale.
And a bunch of shit and some horses.
But why did that make them all
fuse? There was a giraffe
fuse?
in there too.
Who fucking knows? Who
maybe
that's
the
what I
machine just malfunctioned.
What's the because
but the ooze wouldn't cause that. The ooze just makes you be human.
Well, it wasn't just the ooze though. I think it's the method of transportation.
The method of delivery.
Yeah, but the method of delivery for something wouldn't affect how it reacts to things, would it? Not like that. I mean, I'm no scientist or anything.
You're not an oozologist.
I'm not a oozologist.
Oh, speaking of the fucking ooze.
All right.
TCRI.
Oh.
Yeah. Because they changed the C to stand for cosmic. Because we're in this cosmic phase of movies now, I guess. Everything's got to be cosmic.
It's TGRI, goddammit.
Yep.
It's always been TGRI.
What does it stand for in the
We
original?
can look that up right now.
Yeah, I actually can't remember. But I know for a fact it's fucking TGRI. And because, like I said, I became obsessed. And I watched those movies on repeat.
People have Googled this actually. Really? When I typed it up, it came in TMNT, TGRI, or TCRI. So people have been wondering about this. So
Yeah, that was sarcasm, I figured.
It says, as opposed to being labeled TCRI, which is Techno Cosmic Research Institute, like in the Mirage comics, the canister in which the ooze is kept is written as TGRI, Techno Global Research Industries. So we might be wrong on this. It might have originally been TCRI.
Ooh.
TCRI is the original. They changed it to TGRI in the movie because global makes more sense than cosmic. Wow.
I wish you guys could see this because the amount of just disbelief and world shattering that I'm seeing go through Oz's face right now.
Oh my god! All right,
He's holding the camera, or not the camera, the mic again.
I will redact my. I will redact. Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
And they even have like a Reddit forum for this and everything. People have been wondering about this.
How does it feel to be so humbled?
The movie was terrible. Just because they just fixed the thing. I don't care.
He's hit the defensive stage.
I'm going down like because again, there's a Reddit page all about this, and I'm going down the list here, and there's like for example, this one homie. He's not a homie, but this one person says, "I literally only thought the movie got it wrong." LOL. So he, like us, was also deceived. He thought that the movie,
because
we
all grew up with TGRI.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that's all because Secret of the Ooze. Mm-hmm. Just Secret of the Ooze, because the TGRI was not on the original Ooze canister that they showed. At least you didn't see it.
Yeah,
until the second movie, where he puts it together and shows it's TGRI. Yeah. And I was like, huh, god damn.
Yep. So I mean,
while
I gotta take that back. Then.
Yeah. I'm gonna be.
Movie 2, Oz like 7.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm still winning, damn it.
I'll eat my bite of humble pie if the movie eats his fucking 3/4 of it.
That's wild though. See, I didn't know either one. So whenever you guys were like going off about it, I was like, man, that's wild. I wonder why they changed it. And then
they just changed it back.
Yep. I guess they fixed that part.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I do kind of agree though that global rolls off the tongue a little better.
And for especially like that movie that came out back in like '92 or whatever, it makes it makes more sense.
It does make more sense because like back in those days we didn't do cosmic shit. Yeah. We just did.
Oh, they did cosmic shit, all right.
Brownies.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So is that a mushroom joke there?
Yeah. No, cosmic brownies. Like
it was originally a mushroom joke.
The little Debbie cakes. You know.
I never super loved those.
They were horrible.
I didn't mind them.
But I didn't follow the hype.
I just understood that they didn't taste like brownies, but they taste like
sugar.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah,
sugar and maybe a little bit of wheat.
So
what cosmic brownies were you eating?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
So the plot in this movie isn't necessarily strong, but I can stick with it. You know, I can understand what they're doing here because I mean, if you're gonna copy, a movie, X-Men is not a bad movie to copy. You know,
they did bring it down well enough to be like. Actually, I was gonna say that you might not notice, but no, you do. Yeah, never mind. I take that back.
Yeah. I mean, he notices. Yeah.
But like when I see like the human interactions that like the people have with the turtles, I also kind of feel like that's another thing that was missing. Like we get Splinter's his flashback as to like why he doesn't want to deal with humans and all that. And the turtles obviously really want to,
and basically develops agoraphobia.
Yeah. Not even basically, that dude's got it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like they should have gone a different direction because the end result being the turtles in school, that shit was just weird.
That is weird.
Oh, dude! And when they took their fucking masks off.
I get that it's supposed to be like a symbolic thing, but I don't get what it's supposed to symbolize. Really, like
there was no symbolism.
Togetherness,
like acceptance.
It's probably something like they no longer have to hide behind their masks.
Well,
but that's not what those masks are for. I don't think. I think those are literally like name tags.
Well, I don't know who defeated those ninjas. It might be those turtles, but they don't have masks on right now, so I can't tell.
So it must be the other turtles.
Exactly.
And one thing that bugged me a little bit, and it's a bit of an issue that I don't have an answer for it, and it really doesn't matter. But whenever they ended up running onto New York, that is where they are, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
they bumped into people. First off, people, because it's supposed to be like more modern day. People would not care that they're turtles. They would just care they got bumped into. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be 100% on that.
Yeah.
Especially not even in like the nerd side of this. Just New Yorkers do not care. Mm-hmm. But also, conventions and cosplay is way more common now.
Oh yeah, like honestly, they would just assume that they're just
some weirdos
in cosplay. 100%.
Well,
or just weirdos.
I almost said in Roshi's flashback, in Splinter's flashback. We get the scene where like people are like, oh, leave this guy alone. That's a really cool rat costume. Oh my gosh, it's not a costume.
Yeah, and I mean, they even bring that up with whenever April 1st bumps into the turtles, and she's like, oh, this is really cool. Oh, and honestly, her reaction is what I expect from most people these days. Yeah. Where it's just like, oh, that's really weird. All right, we're fine.
Okay, I'll be the odd guy out. If I find a giant fucking walking, talking turtle, my reaction might be a little bit more visceral than that.
If they're chill, meh.
Like, if they're not actively trying to eat me.
Bro, okay, that's like saying, yeah, dog, I ran into a fucking alien the other day. He had a spaceship and everything.
I'll tell you right now, I'd ask him if I could leave.
Bro, as many comic books and movies that you watch.
That's why I fucking know better.
I'm over here like, dude, like, you, come on. Like, you would freak out and, like, try to run away or, like, attack them?
Oh, don't get me wrong, I'd probably still freak out. But it really depends on how it's presented to me.
I'm not going to attack them because, again, I know better. All right.
You didn't see this, but he motioned to his very many comic books.
I know better than that. And secondly, I will try to quickly and discreetly exit stage left. Now, the discreet part, but,
that's take or leave.
Yeah.
So, oddly enough, for some reason, when you said aliens versus sewer turtles, it changed it for me a little bit.
Yeah.
I still don't think I would freak out as hard as I probably should. I'll be honest.
Well, that's just you.
That's true. Because, like, if
you'd be more like, huh?
Like, man, I am in a bad spot.
And then I'm really gonna fucking freak out when there's not just one giant turtle. There's 4 of them. Oh my gosh! I'm only getting out of here if they let me.
Yeah. Just gonna have to ride the ride.
I have to just hope they have the speed of a turtle.
Depending on the turtle, you're still fucked.
If you're thinking tortoise, you should be fine. But if you're thinking like a normal turtle, those little shits are fast.
Snapping turtles can fucking book it.
Oh my god! And then I'm super fucked. They have snapping. They have a bite move too.
And the bitch can just extend.
Yeah, and they have reach. Oh my gosh! Yeah, this is awful for me.
You done, son?
Yeah. Fucking terrible situation. Why y'all got fucking old school ninja weapons?
I got a beat, don't I? Sorry.
God damn it.
Another reference.
Go watch Howard the Duck again.
Also, wait. So
that was a Ninja Turtles reference. Thank you very much.
I know. But I just want you to go watch Howard the Duck again.
How about you go to hell?
So something I just also thought about again is if they had normal weapons.
Where are their penises?
No, that was the Oprah one.
Oh, okay.
So if they had normal weapons, first off, they upkept them. But like,
yeah,
how could they not find in New York proper like throwing stars? Like everything else was like normal and okay, but then the throwing star he showed was awful.
Matter of fact, I think that's how Splinter got them. I think they were actually in a pawn shop.
Probably. Were they?
I think they were.
Shop?
I think that's where he got them. Yep.
It's amazing those weapons have lasted that long, man. Because like a pawn shop, you're gonna get fucking prop swords and
like they probably frequent that pawn shop. Man, I don't know why they just keep disappearing.
Oh shit. I don't know if this is a good thing or not. Probably not, but after watching the movie, it did make me want to like speed up my current reading so I can read Batman and the Ninja Turtles book I have. Because I'm like, I need to like get some actual turtle itch in my life.
What if that's the point? What if that's the point of this movie? What if it's so meta?
They're really playing 4D chess here.
Oh my god!
We want to make a movie
it's so bad that you want to go to the original
every other source material.
Okay,
this movie took the L so that all the other source materials can get bottled a little more.
That is by far some 4D chess there, man. I didn't stand a chance if that's the case.
I don't think that's it, but like, what if?
I will say that, like, honestly, since you gave me the last runner to read, I've actually been in a real. I want to get like find an omnibus or something of.
Did you have that one?
Which one?
That one?
Last Ronin? Yeah, we actually covered Last Ronin on the podcast.
It's amazing. Yeah. But I was actually referred to like the whole comic. Like I want to read it all.
Yeah, so actually I'll let you borrow it, but I think in November they're getting an actual omnibus release.
Is it like how much of the story does it cover, or do you know?
So I mean it has to be multiple volumes, but the first volume has to cover probably the first 30 books.
Oh damn.
30 issues I should say, yeah. So it'll be it should be somewhere around there, but until then, I'll have to crack open Batman and Turtles, just because I mean, two of my favorite things, two of my original fandoms in one book. I had to get it,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Still look in your face.
I'm trying to figure out like how they would interact. It's not like a bad face. I'm just like, that's kind of a cool.
How does that work?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't read it yet, but I will let you know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
he kills the turtles.
Before we wrap up here, we mentioned this earlier, but I think we should talk more about it here. Let's talk about the Shredder dilemma.
Oh, okay.
So we do get the Easter egg at the end where we see...
Actually, I'm sorry. Can I bring one more thing up?
Please.
One more cursed thing.
Oh, boy.
Why milking?
Oh, my God.
That was constant.
Like, that was a huge fear for Splinter. It was like, don't go out into the real world. They're going to milk you.
Like,
what?
It's surely Seth Rogen definitely knows that milking has...
other implications.
Yeah. I don't...
And they full on, like, first Blade movie...
Oh, yeah.
Did that shit to those fucking turtles.
I was uncomfortable. I was more uncomfortable with that because of how often it happened than the cockroach lady. And that's real close.
Boy, I said that's close.
Yeah, like
That is close.
Cockroach Lady, milking, kind of in the same boat for me.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
still bad.
Oh,
It was just all bad.
Imagine milking the
No,
cockroach.
don't.
Don't.
In the vault. I got it.
Splinter would have fought so much harder to free her, I think.
Probably.
It was so gross.
Oh, and like, this is a little minor irk. Like, it is very prevalent that Splinter, I was about to call him Master Splinter, but he is not. He learned karate and kung fu
From Jackie Chan movies.
from Jackie Chan movies.
Yep.
And somehow he beat the fuck out of some henchmen to save the turtles.
Yep.
I mean, they didn't even have name tags.
They did.
It's true. So again, I understand that the Foot Clan couldn't be in the movie because Shredder wasn't in the movie, but I just feel like
They did drop another Easter egg. Stinson?
Yeah, the guy who created Superfly in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm not
is
mistaken...
a comic book regular.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he like create all the robots? Like,
Yeah, I think he is the guy who's responsible for the robots.
Yeah.
For the robots.
Oh yeah, like in the OG cartoon and in the comics, like they fight robots.
I mean, I knew they did. I just didn't.
So a small distinction though, in their OG cartoon, the Foot Clan were ninjas, but in the comic books they were always human. They just changed it so that in the cartoons they didn't want to have the turtles killing people, so they changed them to robots.
They did not worry about that for this movie.
They didn't know. Everything was human.
And a lot of death.
a lot of death. Yeah. There's a lot of mortally mollywopping going on here.
Mollywopping.
But yeah, I it popped back into my head. I could not let this end without bringing up the milking.
Thank you for
you're welcome.
Bringing that back up.
So this was something that took some getting used to for me. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this.
Okay.
What you think about the voice acting for the turtles?
I mean, I didn't hate it. They sounded like kids.
To me, yeah, like it just sounded like 4 kids. Like honestly, I couldn't tell their voices apart.
I needed to see who was talking. Yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah. I think that the kids who did this, I think they did a good job because they did just get 4 kids to,
Yeah.
I thought that they did a good enough job. The problem is that the fucking 90s movies is just so fucking iconic. They were so distinct, in the OG movie. Like,
And I think one thing that would have helped them a lot is if they had more character to it. Because as you guys said, when you get text stuff, you knew who it was just off the words because of how it was said. And because they dialed back the character, you don't have those tells.
Well, and see, it's just like good storytelling in general. Like we used to do this in wrestling all the time. Like have a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like the turtles had gimmicks.
Yeah.
Like Leo was the leader, Raph was the hothead, Donnie was the smart one, Mikey was the dumb party dude.
Goofball, yeah.
Yeah. Like you could, and Splinter was the wise one.
Right.
Like you could tell who was who by who was fucking talking.
Right.
Like because they had a gimmick. These kids don't have that. They're all the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Like collectively.
Well, they're the turtles.
Yeah.
The mutant turtles.
Teenage.
They were teenage.
Teenage mutant turtles. Yeah.
Yeah, they were very not ninja.
The only I realized something whenever you said the Jackie Chan movies thing. I hope they didn't do it for this, but the only reason I can come up with why they learned from the movies is to have it be meta that he's voicing and learn from himself, basically.
That's a meta joke that's just not worth it.
It's not.
But I think that's what they think the newest generation's like. And like they'll get a chuckle out of it, but it's not going to be what they want.
How well, I mean, we all know Jackie Chan.
Yeah, we all know Jackie Chan. My kids don't know Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. But honestly, I can't think of the last Jackie Chan movie I've actually watched. Like, I think it was the new Karate Kid.
I think this is showing your faults here.
Maybe. But that's fine. I have some work to do. I'm not a perfect parent.
Yeah.
No, but like for real though, like this generation doesn't know who Jackie Chan is.
That was that was the other end of the
Yeah.
50. That was for the older generation. It didn't connect well nostalgia wise because like it's just it just was like Jackie Chan. Here you go.
Like,
Yeah.
I know I kind of alluded to this earlier, but like Jackie Chan, this is not the first sensei that he has replaced in a remake of a movie that from our childhood. He also played Mr. Miyagi in the new Karate Kid, and to see that he's not even a master of any kind of kung fu.
Yep.
Honestly, it was almost like a waste of.
Good night. You get one more.
Oh, I'm done.
Okay.
Then we're pumping you full of rock salt.
I just stopped saying Gazuta.
I killed 17 brain cells for that, sir.
That's fair. No, but it was almost like a waste of having Jackie Chan be Master Splinter.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I kind of agree.
Well, I wonder, like, how much did they fucking pay John Cena for that?
That's
right?
For his like 5 lines.
Yeah.
How much was his movie?
We can look that up. We can look that up and see the box office totals.
I love that like almost 7 minutes ago we said we were closing up, and then my one milking question brought it all back.
Because there's just so much wrong with this movie that they could have easily fixed by little tweaks.
I feel like they took a chance. They calculated those risks, but they were real bad at math.
Yeah. I was about to say, there was no calculation involved, but okay.
So it had a budget of $70 million.
I'm angry now, but all right.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like 70 million. Like, okay, compared to live action blockbuster movies, that's fairly on the cheaper end. But $70 million for that animation, I'm sorry, but
Especially with angle faces.
yeah.
And
I feel like they took a cut on some things specifically for big names.
Maybe the box office was 176.8 million, so they made about 76 million.
I'm curious how many of those are
I'm
rewatches.
sorry, they made about 100 million. Yeah.
I'm curious how many of those are rewatches.
probably not.
Yeah. Yeah. So they said it was announced back in June 2020, and they got the 2 co-directors. The animation was provided by Micros Animation in Montreal and Paris.
Maybe that's why it was 50-50. There were 2 directors.
Well, they need to get on the same book.
Yeah, they probably weren't.
Also, about the animation, it says it was primarily influenced by school notebook sketches.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
I mean, like I said, I
get
didn't
that
hate
one.
the animation.
I didn't either. It just
There
threw me
was
off a little.
there was some janky looking spots, but it wasn't unbearable.
That's why, for the most, I actually liked most of the animation. That's why it was brought up as one of my good points. But there were some parts of that style that I was like,
It was kind of like when you loaned me that X-Force comic that one time, and like how it was like the same artist did most of it,
Yeah,
and then
man.
it just drastically changed to the
Yep,
next. I was like, that was jarring as fuck.
That's the thing about reading like Omnibus, man. It's like, oh wow, yeah, this changed, yeah.
So like I never got that drastic, but like it was definitely that like okay, yeah.
So interestingly here, it says, and boy, this right here I thought was very interesting. Just looking more here at the movie on this Wikipedia page, it says several critics considered it the best Turtles film.
oh,
I had to ruin your day because I read it and it ruined mine.
I want to go find out who those
Yeah,
critics are,
who are
and
these
never allow. Like, honestly, I'll probably kneecap them. Yeah.
That's such a fucking awful take.
Oh, it's like the worst, the hottest of takes. Like, no.
I
So-
don't like that take. However, I did love how quiet it got, and then just a light chair squeak.
Because I'm over here leaning towards the mic.
It goes on to say, oh boy, a follow-up television series, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, is set to premiere on Paramount Plus, and a sequel film is in development.
So it got greenlit. I mean, it made a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, it made them about $100 million.
So, listeners, tell every single person, if you love the Ninja Turtles at all, even if you just kind of like them, tell all of your friends not to go see that movie so they will never make another one. because it's fucking horrible.
Watch the second one. Actually, super good.
So that's the thing, right? I hope so. Like, I'm at the point now, like my podcasting tenure, where I'm like, this movie's coming out. I don't give a single fuck about. I hope it's good. And I mean, it normally isn't.
No,
but you know, I mean, for example, I got the Marvels coming out here. Let me tell you, I'm so excited for that.
You're overwhelmed with joy. I can just see it.
Oh, you can see it,
radiating
right?
off
It
of
is,
you.
isn't it?
I thought you were Desmond again for a second. I don't know.
Yeah, it was interesting. Just the sidebars before we close up here, but like, you know, going back to like when the podcast first started, everything was so new and exciting, and oh my gosh, like we got to get ready for Black Panther to talk about that. Oh my gosh, we got Infinity War. Oh shit, then we got Endgame, and now I'm like, homies, we got.
You've resorted back to making us watch old shitty movies to make your podcast relevant.
Well, no,
that was a joke. That was a joke. I love this podcast. Shut up.
I was gonna say, like, I'm making the movies relevant.
That's true. That's true.
Because no one's thinking about 1990s Captain America. Put that shit on the map. You're welcome, whoever made that.
I hate you.
I don't even know if like my main avenue now for your podcast, because I have a spot designated for specific shows now, because like no one else is going to be able to really fill it. But like the Ruby Part 2 coming out should be at the end of the month, I think. Mm-hmm. And like I hope it's good.
Yeah, same. I hope it's good. Will it be? We'll see. Do you like peanut butter with your steak? That's kind of what the first one was.
I mean, I would try it, but like, I don't think I would love it.
Yeah.
That is a good analogy for the first one.
Yeah. It's like neither of these things are bad, but together it makes something weird, and I don't know if I like it. Yeah.
You keep trying it.
So yeah, Splinter. I'm sorry, Shredder.
You did it too!
Yep.
Technically, I'm the only one that hasn't mixed it up yet, because I've avoided the names.
Oh shit. Yeah, so Shredder. Here is the problem, right? They did like the classic fucking Marvel and DC movie blunder where like they fuck up the future because they fucked up the present, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like because they fucked up Splinter and his origin.
Yeah, like how because like the origin of Splinter is also the origin of Shredder.
Yeah,
they were always
they're tied together. Yeah.
So how the fuck do they do that now?
He's actually that other rat. They yelled at him.
Didn't he get killed? No.
The other rat? No, it was just in the dumpster.
Oh, okay.
Because he tried to make friends, and the rat hated him. He's that other rat.
My only thought about that, because they might realize, oh no, we fucked up. They might go the route of like the Turtles fight Shredder, and they don't know why he's so pissed off. They get their asses beat, but they escape and go back to the turtle lair. And Splinter's like, I have to tell you, I wasn't honest with you. This is what really happened. It's a subtle way to retcon it.
And it would also
I would hate it.
I would hate it too.
It's the only way to fix it, though.
That is the only way to fix it. And it would also make that scene of him saving the turtles make sense.
Yeah.
A little more sense, yeah. He was just like, I put on this act just to try and make it so that... But why would he put on the act, though?
Well, I don't even know if it was put on the act. It's more of like he fell into a depression and
put that behind him, maybe.
Yeah, put that behind him, sort of thing.
But then why would he like lie about it in this specific way? I don't have an answer for that.
If he thinks that Shredder is like far gone in his past, why bring him up at all?
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Like, the whole run from my past until it catches up to me thing.
Yeah.
Oh no! What if
they kill Splinter?
Well, whatever. I'd be okay with that. But what if
this Splinter? Yes.
Yeah.
What if Shredder milked him?
Oh, stop! Jesus. And he's like, I want some more of that sweet rat.
But that's why he's scared of people and being milked.
That makes sense, because they explain why he's afraid of people. They never explain this odd fear of getting milked.
I think that part is a joke of it being a joke. Yeah. They just hammer the joke into the ground so many times that it's a joke.
Like, that rattled me.
Oh.
You were quiet for a little bit.
Yeah. God.
Now, I will say this, like, one of the big problems about Shredder and the Michael Bay movie was he just looked like a transformer.
See, I didn't even know they brought him in.
Oh yeah. Michael Bay, he was kind of in that phase.
Well, of course.
So many. Just imagine sharp, silver, jagged bits.
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh yeah. Look it up. It was an interesting artistic design. I say interesting, but it felt also kind of lazy at the same time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only rendition of Shredder
What the fuck am I looking at?
that
Right.
like truly embodied him, like live act. Well, what the fuck?
I told you it looks like a transformer.
This dude have like 3 swords on each arm? What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it's fucking wild. Yeah.
Oh, did they elongate his blades?
But the problem is that, like, they made the turtles so fucking massive and strong. They were like,
a normal human can't do this? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and see, therein lies the problem with them being fucking huge.
I know. Look, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm not saying they're great. I'm just saying that, like, they did some things all right in that movies. We also didn't get Casey.
Which, honestly, I kind of figured they wouldn't put him in here, honestly. But if they did put him in, I would not have been as surprised. Because, like, they would have... Honestly, if anything, it would have been like a little cameo thing of, like, the school has a hockey team.
Right.
And, like, he just happens to be, like, skating, like, gets kicked off the team for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah.
But he's not actually, like, in it, he's just there.
Yeah.
I imagine that he'll be in the sequel.
Probably.
And there'll probably be some static because I imagine Leo still has a crush on April, Which is it's interesting because, like, they never really explored that route in any of the other Turtles lore.
They didn't really explore it in the original movie, but, like, they complimented April on her looks in the original movie, in the 90s movie.
But that's about where it begins and
babe
ends.
is a fox.
Yeah, and that's true. But, like, there's never any romantic tension or chemistry there.
Right, exactly. Because April obviously is not interested.
Yeah, and so it is interesting that they decided to let's tease this Leo and April.
I feel like it's not so much them teasing a Leo and April thing as more of just them having another way to like harp on Leo.
I guess, yeah.
Which Leo has always been my least favorite.
Well,
but
he's always been like my
really?
favorite or second favorite. He's always been like
liked
my
him a
top
lot.
2.
Like, I mean, I love all 4, hands down. Like, they're amazing. But like, Leo's always been my least favorite. But, like, I think they made him worse. They made everybody worse.
Yeah, come on.
Like, but it's just... It was almost unbearable to watch him when he was on the screen, in my opinion.
Go over that. Too much cringe.
It was very cringe. It was just too much.
Yeah. They try some things. None of it really lands particularly. Don't get me wrong. Some of the comedy in this movie does work.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like, as a father, the whole reason why we watched this movie, by the way, was because it was my son's birthday, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to sit around with the family and watch this movie, and of course, we invited Ace and Dylan.
Hello.
And, we watched this as a family together. Granted, me, Ace, Dylan, and Caleb were definitely like, the whole fucking time. But it was, it was still a nice bonding moment with my son. I still haven't even talked to him about what he thought.
I was literally about to
gonna
ask you.
Yeah.
I was like, did you, you missed an opportunity. Like, you had a source of this generation. Technically 2 of them.
Yeah.
And you just didn't ask him.
I didn't. I didn't do my homework. Sorry, guys.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm gonna have them on the podcast then.
I mean, James would actually love that. Like, I think he'd actually do pretty decent. He actually streams.
Have you ever
bit.
had? You've never had your Squire on here?
Well, I have. First of all right, don't make this. All right.
I'm listening.
So I'm just saving a very special episode for him. That's why.
Okay.
He hasn't
Okay.
been on
Sure.
here yet.
So for the listeners, just a little personal backstory between me and Ace. We have been friends since middle school, and that has been 24 years.
You don't have to say that number out loud.
You physically cringed.
We have been friends for 24 years, and he has been there for the majority. I think there was only a 2-year gap when you were on your mission trip that we weren't actually in contact with one another, like on a regular basis.
That's only 5 years less than I've been alive.
Okay, Dylan.
So he was there when my son was born, and whenever we do game nights at the house and stuff like that, Ace always makes the joke that my son is his squire.
Joke? What is
I feel like you've committed so much at this point. It's just true.
You have not trained him one fucking time. I'm just saying.
You don't know
you trained
that.
him to get drinks.
I am so good at training my squire that you don't even know. It's supposed to be subterfuge. You're not supposed to be aware.
Okay. Anyway,
He's supposed to come off as aloof.
okay. But I just wanted to make sure everybody knew the relationship that was going on
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're welcome, by the way, because a lot of people are lucky enough for their child to be a squire of someone of my caliber. So yeah, you're welcome.
I mean, as a retort to it, I made the other one my apprentice.
Yes, you have definitely made my daughter your apprentice, which is, you know, I was like, whatever. You want them? Let them come live with you for a little while.
No. That's the
Actually-
glory of it. They stay with you. We just get to.
Well, see, actually, my kids are actually fucking great. Like, most of the time, they do their own thing and leave me the fuck alone. unless I make them do things with me.
Like watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies.
Technically, my son wanted to do that.
Yep.
That wasn't my influence.
Yep. Should have had him on here. He would have been.
We have an empty chair too.
Yeah, we had an empty chair. We should have brought James. Like, I should have done it. Yeah.
We'll get
know
him for
what?
the sequel.
Can the episode? We'll
when
redo
he's
it.
like 18.
I mean, yeah, we can do that.
So yeah, what do you guys think they're gonna do with Shredder? You guys looking forward to? Well,
No.
Scratch that part. What do you guys think they're gonna do with Shredder?
I have no idea. I want to be honest. I don't know. Like I know I don't know
He's
as
just
much
going to
about the
be
source material.
the boogeyman.
Well-
That's what I think.
Unless they retcon Splinter's origin, they put a very low ceiling on how good this version of Shredder can be.
Also, we haven't really. You guys haven't brought it up in this instance, but when we talked about this in the past, all of the henchmen turned sides.
They
do.
were all good. Like, they eventually joined the Turtles. Which,
Yeah.
no, that never happens.
Right. So why do we get this fucking family togetherness? Let's all work together.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you need to 100% stay close to your source material.
As
right?
long as you,
Right?
like... go ahead.
But to literally take almost all of your villains
Yeah.
and in one movie roll them into being buddy family, that's just objectively a bad move.
They all live together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like we were playing with you. No,
Right.
they're happy as hell and living
Yeah.
together.
And then also
Bebop and Rocksteady is kind of like they're feng shui decorators.
which was
Were they?
yeah.
I
At the
missed
very
that part.
end, they
I
were
missed that
moving a
part.
couch. That's what I was making.
Oh, I saw them arguing about it. Yeah.
And then also with the sequel, how are they gonna? They need to also find a way to retcon out Cockroach Lady. Just get rid of that,
That's so creepy.
They're gonna
not
they're gonna double down on it.
please. No.
I don't want it to happen.
That's new stepmom.
Oh. Well, maybe Maybe Shredder can just like kill that one right off rip. You know? Yeah.
I'm down.
He just has a giant can of raid and just fucking
As he raids the sewers.
as he raced this.
Yay! I got a little button. Why are you frowning?
I'm not. I'm trying to stifle a laugh. I didn't want to laugh at it.
You give me that appreciation.
But yeah, so I guess at some point in time, I don't think that the TV show is out yet because they're doing the TV show, then the sequel.
Are you gonna review that too?
I might at least check out an episode or two to see how it is.
If you do that, you're gonna have to at least give some kind of something.
No one has to know I did it.
I'll tell him.
You wouldn't dare.
Yeah, you would.
I'll get Oz to do it. You know for a fact I'll get other people to do my things.
Listen,
Listening.
if you get Oz to do it, then that means Oz has to watch it.
Nope.
Maybe I can get Caleb to do it.
No.
You're going to have an even harder time.
Yeah, you'll have a harder time to get Caleb to do it than me.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get Caleb to watch like the shitty movies.
No. I meant to just to out you on it.
He'd do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, what are your guys' overall thoughts about this movie? And if you had to score it on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you guys score it?
Okay. So, I would give it like a 4 out of 10 because I don't have as hard of a connection to the nostalgia, but also I feel like this movie is a turn your brain off movie. Mm-hmm. It's not meant to.
Like I struggled so hard to just turn it off, but Ace ruined me.
Like, don't get me wrong, I don't do that. I can't really as much anymore, and that's not even your guys' fault. I don't even know where I picked that up from, but but that doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's mine.
I would give it a 5. And
That's higher than I thought you'd give.
Yeah. It's mostly because that while it did destroy a lot of the characters and the lore and a lot of it, and my childhood, I did have a good time watching it for the most part with my family. And so I guess it did its job.
Yeah, okay.
So that is the tricky part, right? Like I always use this example when I saw Endgame in theaters. Saw it opening night, which means that I was there with a bunch of other superhero nerds. Everyone who was there weren't casual, and if they were casuals, they're the most extreme of casuals, you know. And because you had to get your tickets months in advance to be there opening night for that showing. And
Even in this area.
Yeah, even in this area. And so, you get to the part where Thanos is kicking ass, and then, Mjolnir lifts up off the ground, and it shoots across the screen, but it doesn't go to Thor, it goes to Captain America.
Everybody loses their goddamn mind.
Oh my gosh. And then, of course, you fast forward 15 minutes later, and you have Captain America standing there, Mjolnir in hand, and he says, "Avengers assemble."
He says the fucking thing.
Yeah. The first time he ever says it. Perfect fucking timing. I mean, the theater collectively loses their shit. We are all marching towards Thanos with Cap. That's the type of energy that it creates. And I use that often as an example just to show the power of watching things sometimes in groups. It amplifies the experience. Now, thankfully, I think the Endgame is still a great movie.
Oh yeah,
all on its own. But if I had seen Endgame for the first time by myself, it wouldn't have been the same as if I had watched it, in the theater with the whole group of people.
Actually, on the flip side of that, with our review of the Ruby Justice League one, we brought that up in a way because if we would have watched it alone, it would have been a much worse movie.
You're right. Yeah. That is also a good point because it was like we kind of filled in the blanks that we needed each other to fill
100%.
Yeah.
Paused that movie 8 times. Not even kidding.
Yeah. We needed that. And you're right. I think that did kind of pad our experience with that movie. And with this Turtles movie here, watching it as a group definitely bumps up the experience I had with this movie. Had I watched this by myself, I don't know if I would have made it to the end, if I'm being honest.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. But
honestly, as soon as I saw Splinter, I would probably cut it off.
Yeah. I think that's about where I would have to leave it to.
I probably would have watched to the end more out of I cut the time out of my schedule to watch this. I'm gonna finish it, but I feel like I would have been like, this is
a waste of this time.
Fun, I guess.
I think at best I would have stuck around and gritted my teeth until the kaiju.
Yeah,
I think that's where
the kaiju. You're like, no, why is this a kaiju fight?
But again, just to kind of get my final thoughts and score here, I thought that there were some legitimately good laughs in this movie. Some of them I don't know if they're still going to be relevant or funny 5 years from now,
or even 3,
or even 3 years from now, which is kind of a problem with humor. You can't rely on current day pop culture references to keep your movie relevant.
As a matter of fact, didn't they reference Endgame?
They reference so much.
I don't think I caught that one.
I want to say they referenced Endgame.
They probably did. I do like that this is really the first incarnation of the Turtles that do feel like very young but still teenagers. Honestly, most incarnations of the Turtles, they're either adults or they're teenagers that really are at probably
like
18, 19.
Yeah, I was saying they're at the end of the teen.
Yeah.
Like you're really holding on to the teen on that.
They go the opposite way with this movie, and you know what? I applaud them for that attempt.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I applaud them for using a new villain instead of
a new old villain.
Using a villain that really hasn't been in the main scene.
Right. Unless it was the old school cartoon, the 80s cartoon. Yeah, you would never have seen Superfly.
Yeah, but here he's treated like a real legitimate threat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did you see that, man? He was a threat.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Mollywopped the hell out of him.
Because like
mollywopping.
One thing that the only thing this movie does better than like the X-Men movies is the X-Men movies. They felt that they needed Magneto all the time in order to be a good movie. And this movie had enough confidence to not rely on Shredder to get.
Yeah, I was about to say most of the other, I think all of the renditions,
Turtle movies,
except for Turtles in Time,
which was the worst one
out of that era. Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I would still take it over the Michael Bay movies, but but no, I definitely agree with you. Like it's kind of like my feeling about the Joker a lot. Like I'm tired of seeing the same villains fight Batman or the same villains fight Superman or all that shit. I want to see they have other villains. Let us see them.
Yeah. And
I'm glad that I will give it that. They did give us Superfly, which was a very good villain to start off with. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I wonder if they'll do Krang. I forgot about... so there was something irking me about Long Neck Lady. The whole fucking movie.
Yeah. Was it a long-ass neck?
Well, obviously the animation threw me off a little bit. However, her glasses seemed very fucking familiar.
You did point that out, yeah.
And in the original cartoon, there was this brain named Krang.
Okay.
And he operated in the stomach of a large, giant, automaton body.
Yeah, humanoid looking.
Remember that?
And the automatons they looked human-esque, but it had glasses very similar to hers. And I'm like, please don't tell me that they're doing could her brain become Krang?
See, you pointed that out, and I wish you hadn't.
It was just the glasses, man. I was like,
see, I don't see glasses on this person.
She doesn't have glasses?
No. They were like pink.
Krang doesn't have glasses.
No, the automaton has glasses.
Yeah, the automaton that he pilots has like those yellow framed. Do you see that automaton?
No, I see the automaton, but I don't see. It does look vague. I'm sorry, this is just really weird looking.
Maybe I was reading too much into it, but it triggered you enough to make you think it too. So,
sorry, I just got on a little bit of a trip on that one because I was like, man, this looks weird.
Krang is very.
Oh yeah, very much.
But I think this movie has a lot of potential, and you know what? Part of me cautiously wants to see what they can do with the sequel. But they need to know that they can't double down on what they did. So they can't double down on relying on pop culture references and fucking Korean boy bands to get them through.
They'll have to triple down.
Oh my fucking gosh.
Honestly, that was one of the pop culture references I didn't hate. Was that Donnie was into anime and K-pop bands.
Yeah, I didn't hate that.
I mean,
it was a cute little thing.
I'm not gonna say that I hated it, but it didn't do anything positive for me either.
Yeah, right. No, I definitely agree.
It's like with some modern day comic book creators. They're like, this character has Insta Fitness, and this one has a food blog, and I'm like, that tells me fuck all about this character.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about that. Like, tell me about the character. You know, and so that's kind of how this is here. Like, okay, Donnie's in the fucking anime. What else can you tell me about Donnie?
Yeah, like honestly, I really didn't get the idea that he was intelligent. He was just nerdy.
Yeah. Well, Ralph wasn't really a hothead.
No, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Michelangelo wasn't any goofy than the rest of them.
Oh, which also, throughout the entire movie, only one time did Mikey say "Cowabunga."
Yeah. And they did it out of obligation.
Oh, it was so obligation. Yeah. Oh, God, it felt so forced. Yeah.
But, you know, I reluctantly give this movie a 5.5 out of 10.
Damn. Okay.
You know,
I'm shocked I gave the lowest one.
I'm not.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like you know, on a grading scale, this movie still got 3 Fs. You know?
Oh yeah,
yeah, 100%. That's fair. I hate the American grading scale though.
Well, that's a whole nother matter. But you know, the Turtles have been around for a long time, and they'll be around for a long time more. I think that in terms of American toys targeted towards young boys, I don't know what has sold more than the Turtles, with maybe the exception of Power Rangers.
I think Power Rangers would beat them out. I do, mostly because of the fact that it was like I feel like it lasted longer than the Turtle craze did.
Not really, because the Turtle craze lasted from the time the TV show came out,
87,
to throughout like at least the second movie. That was all Turtle Mania, and Power Rangers Mania really only lasted for the Mighty Morphin seasons.
Okay, that's fair.
It's close. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, hey, I hope that's not the same company, right? That was over both. If so, they made fucking bank.
All the money.
Hasbro? Or Bandai.
Bandai or Mattel. Mattel was over the Turtles, I think. And you know this.
I'm just letting you guys, show your skills a little bit.
And I think Bandai was for the Rangers.
Well, Bandai was definitely the studio company that made the show.
Yeah.
I think Hasbro actually owned
the
toys, which I think in turn owned Bandai.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers made money, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
They made a lot of money.
I mean, I actually watched that docuseries on Netflix, the toys that made us. Which is like, and Power Rangers was like number one.
It had to be. Yeah. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like in terms of sales, but that was the one that they showcased the season finale or whatever.
Yeah. But you can look it up. Turtles, they sold so much shit that they were literally running out of ideas to like make new turtle toys because they did everything.
There was a Wild West turtle. There was a Halloween turtles. Yep. There were I had quite a bit of them myself.
I had them. Did you ever get the ones that transform it was the van, but you could transform the van into like one of the turtles?
I didn't get that one. I got the actual van that just rolled.
Oh, nice.
I got because that was but I didn't get that until years later after it was like I got it at a yard sale.
Yeah.
No, but do you remember the ones that actually you could twist and turn into a baby turtle?
I don't think I had. I didn't have
like
those.
You pulled the shell back, you flipped their heads in, and it had 2 little arms that you peeled out and a little bit. Yeah, I had all of them. I had...
And it was so fucking brilliant, right? Because they could just make the same mold and just paint the headband different colors and sell that shit 4 times. You know? But yeah, they had a turtle for every fucking scenario.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Homies, these 2 are old as fuck.
They know that, Dylan.
Honestly, most of them are probably our age.
That's true. A lot of them are our age.
You are all old as fuck.
It is interesting, like, because the demo, for the most part, is like, our age group and then, like, Gen Z. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, first of all, need to go to bed. All right? It is past your bedtime. I love you, and I'm grateful. It's past your bedtime.
Damn.
Yeah, go to bed.
Damn.
What gen are you guys technically?
We're millennials.
Yeah. Or
is it
Gen Y?
Yeah, because I'm technically at the end of millennials, depending on one of the 3 different fucking endpoints you have.
Yeah, I was under the impression that 80 to 96 are 81 to 96 are millennials. 97 through 20. I don't know, 20 something. Yeah, but
I actually took a generation diversity class at work that talked about this.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was awful.
It was actually there was some good information, but also just listening to the boomers yell at it was bad.
And that's what I without doing, because I do have some boomer listeners, believe it or not, so they enjoyed the fact that I talk about old school comics and how things were back in the day before I was born. I appreciate that era of comic books. No disrespect to you guys. It's also past your bedtime. You need to take that too.
You don't know when they're listening to this?
But
They're just sleepy.
yeah.
Bro, so am I.
Oh shit. Yeah, I forgot what my point was. I just insulted my listeners for nothing.
That's what they're here for, right?
That's right. Damn. But yeah, you guys have any final thoughts about turtles in general?
I mean, I like turtles.
You know, I constantly have to swerve out of the way to make sure I don't hit one. You know, I think that
Why does that happen often?
They're often in the road. I don't put them there.
I've only ever seen a turtle actually in the road once in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen
For
a
me,
handful. Yeah.
We got out and got it out of the road, but
it's at least a few
remember,
times a month.
He's from Florida. He probably had alligators. And
That's
shit.
true.
there was a time where there was a whole bunch of cars piled up and we were trying to figure out what the fuck it was. Got up there, it was an alligator, and we stopped being mad. We were like, oh, that makes senes.
I'd stop too.
No, we didn't stop. We just stopped being mad about it.
Oh.
One unrelated story, and then we'll wrap up here. You know, I work a delivery job, for my day job and all that. And this was one time about 2 years ago now. I made a delivery to this house I'd never been to before, put the package down, and then I look up and I see there's a bird perched up outside the door, and it was a parrot. And the parrot, no shit, looked at me and said, hello. And I was so taken aback because I'd never met a parrot before.
Yeah.
And he looked and he goes, hello. And I'm like, whoa.
Did you say hi back?
See, I feel bad because I didn't.
What
And
the
then-
fuck?
Bro,
and
you're
then-
having a conversation.
Wait, and then as I'm leaving, no shit, the parrot goes, have a good day. And I'm like, holy shit.
That is a nice. See, you
And I-
ignored him and he still said, have a
I
nice
know,
day.
and I still feel shitty about that.
You should.
You monster. You monster.
I was always hoping that I could go back to that house one day. You know what I mean? Just to make it up to that poor bird that I ignored him. But no. Yeah.
I wonder if they have a porch cam.
They have to.
Because I'm over here how they put the bird, they put the fucking parrot on the porch just to fuck with people who drop shit off. Right. Oh, I know they do. Because I would.
For sure.
Yeah. Nicest bird I ever met.
That's fair.
Yep. Well, I think that is all for now. We started off talking about turtle music.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, and we ended talking about fuck all. Like this podcast does,
I mean, yeah.
Speaking of off the rails, be sure to check out the Ahsoka review. You guys can get that at several places now. You can also watch the video for that as well on the YouTubes. So this video is pretty much everywhere. Just check under an Evolve Review YouTube channel for the video. And you guys can get the audio for that on either the Superhero Homies or an Evolve Review. Also, I sent you the audio file for that as well.
Yeah, I'll probably upload it soon, so I'll have it on the Tavern Notice
board. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Something happened.
You had something happen over there, yeah.
But that will be all for now. So, homies, one and all, thank you guys for listening and for sticking around for this crazy ass episode. By now, most of you know what to expect. I just hope that we delivered. So that is all for now. But until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
I am Superhero Homie Oz.
I'm Superhero Homie Dylan.